good old boy, he's got a story to tell. Tavin will mow your grass and make it look so well. Now Tavin goes donut goals when in town he comes, getting strength for his haunches to cannonball for fun. Tavin, ramping up the holler, Tavin, trying to make a dollar, Tavin.
Welcome to the Tavin Dillard Podcast, y'all guys. We in season 12's episode 13's. I got Tavin's Lawn Care Services, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. Welcome in, y'all guys. Here's the deal. Lately, I don't know what we say, last 3-4 weeks, folks, all the time, not all the time, but folks been sending in, they text message me during the week or y'all send me emails, and I usually just wait till the last episode of the season, which incidentally is coming up in 2 weeks, because we on episode 13. So I think it's in the next couple of weeks. And then after this week we got episode 14, and then I think and then we got 15, then we got episode 16. So we got a few weeks. So it ain't that big a rush. But what I was gonna say, probably in the next couple of weeks, start sending in questions for the final Q&A, and I don't know, maybe we change it here on the Tavin Dillard Podcast, because I've been answering kind of a question here and there every week, and maybe we just sprinkle it in all season long and we don't do just one big old long Q&A episodes. I don't know, what do y'all think about that? You know how to holler at me, and I appreciate hearing from you during the week, which is 501-322-6249 or tavindillard@gmail.com. What do you think? I just answer questions, maybe 1 or 2 a week, and then we just end the seasons ahead. I already got it scheduled for season 12, so we'll do it like normals, but like moving forward, do we just not do the Q&A because we kind of do a little Q&A every week? So let me know what you think on that, and we'll figure it out. I got a text from Dave Lee. Firstly, I was on TikTok last week live and Facebook live and getting to meet more folks that way. That's been a hoot. I probably should have been doing that a long time ago. Every now and then I'd meander onto them, but I'm trying to do it basically every week. I don't have a set day though, and I know that can be frustrating. Because then it pigeonhole me and like, boy, I got to be available, but then also when to expect to tune in, and that would be helpful. So these are the battles I face, y'all guys. Dims are the battles I face. In addition to mowing lawns and taking care of crabgrass to get in there, and then boy, am I going to have to aerate this whole lawn and reseed it, or are we just going to have to dig this part out, just a little weed killer, and we back to watering, edging, the stuff that I got to deal with, them lawn battles. But then I got to think through what's the best way to do this, all these other things we're working on. Now, Dave Lee, he messaged me, boy, it was in February, and I realized I never responded. I'm like, well, maybe I'll just respond to Dave on the podcast, which is, he said, I just listened to your latest news and was surprised you mentioned coaching T-ball. Because I did coach T-ball a couple of winters back. I know you said you would never do that again. Okay, so he knew that. But are you having second thoughts? It would help get you ready for adult softball season. Well, Dave, there's a couple of ways to look at that. I did not like coaching T-ball. Well, because I went in with the thought in my head, I'm going to coach these kids how to play T-ball. You ain't going to do that. They don't want to pay attention to nothing. They just want to run around and have a good time. Hey, you take a sack full of marbles on the top of a pretty steep hill, and you cut that sack open, and you try to gather all them marbles in before you get to the bottom of the hill, that's coaching T-ball. So good luck with that. But you're right about the exercise. If you steady going to try to one-man it and make sure all them little 5-year-old T-ballers are wrangled in, you definitely going to get some haunch stretching going on there. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't plan on coaching T-ball. Maybe I teased that a little bit, but that's just me talking out loud. But when you talk out loud, other folks hear it, and all of a sudden, then it's like, wait, you really doing that? I'm like, oh, did I say that? So you got to think about what you say. That's the lesson I'm learning here. But Dave, right now, no, I'm getting ready for softball season. Standard glaze twist, chocolate glaze, old-fashioned glaze, bear claw, honey bun, apple frittler. I'm steady. I'm keeping the haunches strong. I'm stretching them out. I did 20 push-ups today. So, I mean, you talk about a fitness program, we good to go. So we'll see. We should be knowing a little more about softball season soon. It's at the end of the Aprils. Hey, we had some things come up this week I wanted to let y'all guys know about. Firstly, I'm going to put the Tavern Cruise in here. There's like a deadline. If you're going to sign up, it needs to be like basically tax day, which is April 15. So if you've been thinking about it, considering it, we need to know the numbers. That's just something the travel agency that works with Norwegian Cruise Lines, like we gotta get this figured. So if you really are wanting to do this cruise in October's, this would be the time to get on that list. Now, the way I understand it is you ain't paying everything right now. I think there's like a deposit or whatever, but we just got to get the people that's serious and know who the serious list is. So anyhow, if you want to go on that cruise, we leave out of New Orleans and it's down to the Western Caribbean in the last week in late October's this year. It'd be a fun way to hang out and wrap up, or kick off the fall, that kind of thing. Entertainment every night. We're going to be hanging out. I'll be doing a live show. Also, like I'm hosting games like the Family Feud, where folks, compete against each other, and I'm the host, a cannonball contest. I'm just going to judge it because I don't think it'd be fair otherwise, so I will not participate in it. Well, I will do some cannonballs, but I won't be in the official competition, so I'll just be judging that. They got a zip line on the boat. They got water slides. It's good for the whole family. Apparently, you can hold a baby sloth, so there's a lot of stuff going on with that, but if you're really interested, click the Cruise with Tavern link you'll see in the show notes today and get on that list so that Norwegian can be like, oh, there's a lot of people populating this cruise. Let's full steam ahead it kind of thing. So I need your help on that if you really want to go and you're just waiting. Please don't wait anymore on that. The other thing is I got a delivery of bacon last week from Bacon Boise, and I was talking about it on the live, and I ain't really mentioned it since Christmas. Folks bought it for Christmas time, and then I just kind of doing other things, and y'all doing other things. But I was on the live the other night, and somebody said, who was it? Was it Charlie? Somebody, no, it was Dwayne, I think. Dwayne Hess. I'm pretty sure it's Dwayne. He's the one that does the opening banjo song here on the Tavern Dillard podcast. He said, there ain't no bacon on your website. And lo and behold, when I redid some things somehow between Christmas and now, the bacon disappeared. So I was telling folks about it, and they wanted to buy it, and there wasn't no way they could do it on my site. Well, that's all fixed too. But I'll put a link in the show notes if you need a bag of bacon. Good snacking bacon. Good to take fishing. Good to take to a baby shower. Good to take to a kid's birthday party. Good to take on a walk. It's a walking, snacking bacon with popcorn bacon at the bottom of the bag. Just little bits of cut up pieces of bacon at the bottom of the bag. A little extra delight for you when you get down to the bottom and think, well, there ain't no strips of bacon left. Oh, Peaglebone, there's popcorn bacon here waiting for me. So anyhow, that's going on. It feels like a whole reboot of the bacon because, it disappeared off my site. That was, I guess, I forgot that it wasn't on there. And then I just got more, and now I'm talking about it, eating it, thinking about it, so I wanted to put that on your radars. So that's show notes today. The old bacon, the old cruise, and then I'll just put a link to all the shirts. Peekaboo hat, that's been moving, since that came out, and we got some other ones. There's a few of those shirts left. Watermelon helmet, butter bacon 2024, Team Burger Shed 2023. All them shirts are like 50% off. That's 50, y'all guys. It's like a deep discount. Trying to sell out the rest of the inventory. Those are being discontinued. So if that's one you wanted and you ain't got it, now's the time. And I hope we have your size left because there's a little bit of every size, I think. Well, here and there sizes. There's some that's already gone, but you can check that out. That's the show notes. That's what we call it, a housekeeping. Other folks have been sending in emails and texts. I just want to say right now, I'm seeing them, and I'm putting some aside for the old Q&A at the end of the season. But do let me know. Holler at me today when you get a chance, when you're done driving or walking or grocery shopping or chasing down a baby hamster or whatever you're doing. If you think the Q&A should just go away, and then I just answer questions kind of here and there throughout the season, next season. All right, I do hope you're doing great, y'all guys. As you may know, in the world of podcast, there are them show notes, and you can check all that out. Like I said, you'll see the whole list there, and click whatever you want. Crow Funyun shirt. I was talking about that on the live last week too. But anyways, you'll see all that. Personal video greetings. I forgot to mention that, but you know, if you got somebody need a birthday greeting, holler at me. And I've been still doing, businesses keep reaching out about doing commercials. So if yours wants a commercial, tabandillard@gmail.com. Let's figure it out. All right. That's all I need to know about that. Now, in some breaking news, I got a baby doll display case from Jerry, Don, and Sybil Farnhart's Flea Market. I'll give you an update shortly on how that went when I showed Memaw. But you ever made like a budget? You heard about that? Like you sit down and you write numbers on a paper, only the thing is they ain't random, they ain't made up numbers, they are your numbers. My phone number, Tavin? Oh no. Not your phone number or trailer number address thing or your hunting license number. No, your money. Like how much money you actually got and then how much money you actually spent. Then how, you know, again, you see how all that's adding up, right? You look at them two different numbers, boy, that don't add up or that do add up or that kind of thing. Like I got a little bit of money saved or I don't have money saved and I owe somebody money. Well, guess who needs a budget, y'all guys? Well, the correct answer is probably everybody, but I mean this week, it was my Memaw. Truth be told, it's been Memaw for a while, and you know all about her current financial needs. She's got stuff she want to do, just like you. You may be thinking, boy, I seen a little advertisement for Myrtle Beach. I got to get over to Myrtle Beach. But then you're like, well, I got to get gas money. I probably get hungry while I'm there. I'm going to have to eat. I'm going to have to go out and sit down restaurant and some of them things, you know, drinks don't come free neither. So if you want a little iced tea or Coca-Cola, that's separate from the water cup, you know, kind of thing. And you're thinking about that now. Well, where the hotel? Where are we going to stay? I don't want to sleep in a rental car. Am I going to have to rent a car? Is my car going to get me to Myrtle Beach? You know about all that. Anyhow, my Memaw do need a budget with her financial needs because she want to go to Branson, you know, to this thing. She got that baby doll convention on the horizon, and I ain't seen her this excited since she found out they was putting a McDonald's inside a Wal-Marts years ago. She could barely believe that. That combo basically blew her mind. So me and Cricket were helping Mary Beth Tucker at the veterinary this week. They was cleaning some of the equipment and had to bring animals out to the back lawn there at the veterinary while cleaning was going on. And they got little pens and places for the animals to be. They got, you know what, like a kennel and that kind of thing. Like a kennel, like to keep a dog in a little area so that he don't run away. And you know, folks in airports, if you walk, sometimes they got them little cages or them little boxes for them animals to be to travel. Them animals go on there. I don't know why. I don't know if somebody just want to take their doggy on vacation or if it's a service doggy, but I don't know how much service that doggy can be in a cage. And I don't think they have like helper pilots like, oh, this dog is help trained to fly the airplane if the pilot faints. I don't think it's like, I don't think they work for the airlines. I don't know. I didn't go to school for dog pilots. All I'm saying is they had them kennels out behind the veterinary, but they need folks that ain't scared of animals to hang out with them and make sure they doing okay out behind that veterinary until they can get them back inside once the cleaning's all done. You know about that. Shouldn't the veterinary employees be the ones who do this, Tavin? Not just volunteers that ain't scared of animals? Probably, y'all guys. Probably should be. But I ain't in charge over there. Mary Beth is our friend, so we did that. Myron Curtis and Mary Beth are dating, you know that, but he couldn't help her because he was working. He drive that snack delivery truck. Folks call him Bean Dip, not me. I just call him Myron, but you know Myron Curtis. I guess he's going to be on Team Burger Shed again. We ain't had that conversation yet. Ain't the top of mind right now. You know, there's just other things going on, but folks keep asking me about softball season, and it's coming up in April's. And as far as I know, there's going to be a team, but as far as I know, there ain't been much of a conversation except me and Russell, you know, last week kind of talking it out. It was kind of a zoo behind the veterinary, except it wasn't nothing exotic. It wasn't something that you probably see at a zoo. There was 3 dogs, a cat, some kind of parrot bird, you know, like a colorful one that seemed like it talked a little bit, and a possum. It wasn't just any possum. It was baby Kevin. You know about baby Kevin? One of Millie Rick's pets. I don't reckon he's still a baby, but the name stuck. He's probably more of a teenager by now. Now, Millie don't admit that either of them is her pets. She says they just passing through and they like to hang around, but she feed them. She give them a place to sleep. She put clothes on them sometimes. She name them, and now she's taking them to the veterinary. Millie, that's a pet. It ain't my problem now. My job is just making sure nothing escapes. They got baby Kevin in a little kennel. Apparently, Millie brought him in with a cough and insisted they check him out. And she's paying for this, y'all guys. I don't know how you check a possum cough. Maybe stethoscopes, like on his back. Put them ear listeners in and ask baby Kevin to cough. Baby Kevin, will you cough? Does he speak English? I don't know. I got all kinds of questions for a possum cough checkup at the veterinary. I don't know if baby Kevin understands English. Pretty sure he don't, but maybe you tap his little possum back to get him to cough like that away. That might do it. I really don't know if he understands anything. How would I know? I didn't go to school for possums neither. So I'm back there paking through the bars with one of them mobile kind of carrying case kennels, kind of you'd see at the airport. And Cricket's hanging out with a few dogs in the pen. One of them's name was Licorice. It's an orange Labrador. I ain't never seen orange licorice, but maybe a kid named that dog. I don't really know the story neither. But it was at this point when I'm staring at baby Kevin like, bank, bank, and Cricket's petting old Licorice when she says, your Memaw needs help, Tavin. I say I'd agree, but what kind of help specifically? You know, kind of thing. She needs a budget, she said. She ain't got money for this trip. She keeps planning, but she ain't going to be able to make it out of town at this rate. And that's one thing I appreciate about Cricket. Like, she think about other people. Like, I think if there's something on fire, I put it out. But if there's somebody that's dealing with something and they ain't asked for my help directly, I don't always see that that's a need that I'm supposed to be helping with. I don't always think like that. But Cricket put that on my radar, and I said, you gonna put her on a budget? And she shakes her head and kind of smiles at me and said, no, we are. That's what she said to me. She said, we are. We? Well, that sounds like the two of us. And when somebody is looking at you and saying we, chances are pretty high that you're the other person. About that time baby Kevin sneezes. You ever heard a possum sneeze? Worse yet, you ever felt a possum sneeze? Me neither to both of them till just now. Made me want to kick that kennel full force with my foot, but instead I stood up and backed away from that kennel. I didn't want to get sneezed on twice by possums. What in the world? And then Cricket says, I think it'd really help her, that budget. That's when I realized she thinks I'm pushing back on her idea, but I'm really getting away from a possum with what appears to be like a head cold. Maybe seasonal allergies. I don't know. I look at Cricket. Did you hear that possum sneeze? She said, no, I didn't hear nothing. I said, oh, well, it seemed louder, I guess, right in front of that cage because I heard it and I felt it. Well, what do you think, Tavin, about the budget, she asked me. Like, Cricket was steady focused on one thing, and after you get sneezed on by baby Kevin, like nothing else matters to me at that point. I'm like, I'm grossed out. I need to get something to wipe my arm off with. I also need somebody just to say, boy, that's a terrible thing that happened to you, Tavin. I'm so sorry. But Cricket's steady, full steam ahead on this budget talk, and so here we are. And I was like, yeah, let's do it, Cricket. What do we got to lose? Not much money, I can tell you that. Well, anyhow, we get through all that. I'm back in Chancellor Park, and I tell Memaw that me and Cricket want to talk with her about her trip and that I got a surprise for her. Well, Memaw's all excited about that, and I told her it was about getting her money for her trip, which is true, because if you save money and you budget it well, it's like you making money. That's the way I see it. So before she knowed it was a budget meeting, I thought I'd give her that display case. You know, kindly put her in a good mood is what I thought. Well, she hated it. That's right. She didn't like the color. She didn't think it would complement Rachel Christine's skin tone. She thought it was too small. Like all these standards are coming out that I didn't even know existed. All I've been given is to get a baby doll display case or make her one. Well, that's how the budget meeting started, and Memaw didn't even know it was a budget meeting yet. So we sat down in Memaw's living room. I took the futon. It's gross. I talked about it before, so I won't right now. But just know it's seen way better days. Like its next stop should be Hank Thistle's burn pile, but that burn pile might spit it out. I mean, that thing is something else. Not just the looks. There's an odor, too. Who cares? I'm sitting on it while Cricket's pulling up a folding chair. Memaw's in her comfy chair, like rocking kind of thing. So are we going to make me some money? Memaw asks, all excited. And Cricket replies, we are putting you on a budget. Well, Memaw ain't sure about that. It don't sound like no quick fix because it ain't, and Cricket has Memaw write down how much money she has coming in this month, plus whatever she has in the bank. Then Memaw had to write down what the Branson trip is going to cost. All the while, Memaw's giving Cricket the side eye like we were there to ruin her day, but we ain't. She been running her own day, spending money she needs for other stuff. Then Cricket had this great idea that Memaw should make a list of things she needs from the Wal-Marts, and then we go and stick to the list and bring it under her budget, like a practice run. But also she's going to need this stuff. Some of it for the trip and some of it for regular life. You know, them travel size toothpaste and deodorant, that kind of thing would be for the trip and all. Memaw's able to see some stuff that if she stopped buying, she'd be able to save more money for her trip. She didn't know that till she did. So now we're on our way to the Wal-Marts, y'all guys, for this shopping trip. Well, Memaw has a little hand basket because if you get a cart, you're going to want to fill up the whole cart. That's what Cricket told her. And Memaw don't like to listen to folks, but this just shows you how important this baby doll convention is to Memaw because she can see the writing on the wall if she don't buckle down and get to be a better spender. So it feels like progress, or like a worse spender, I guess, not a better one. Less of a spender? I don't know. I guess that's it. She needs to spend less. So she's doing fine until we turn on to the wide aisle in the back where you got arts and crafts on your right side and some homeware dishes and whatnot on the left. Then after crafts is electronics, video games and whatnot. And in the middle of that wide aisle there are them DVD bins, some Blu-rays and some regular. And what else is in the middle of that aisle? Or should I say who else? Mabel Childress. And this ain't no long build-up, y'all guys. There ain't no jawing at each other and this thing escalates. I mean, it got 0 to 100 like that. Mabel runs, well, kindly fast walks right at Memaw, and Memaw drops that handbasket and the fight is on. You might remember there's like almost a scuffle at the trailer park recently between these two when Coach Hicks was hanging Memaw's clothesline. Well, I guess they was just waiting for an opportunity to settle this, and here we are. I guess they didn't want to do that in front of Coach Hicks. I don't know, but it went down like no words are said. It's just both of them steady running to each other. Mabel ducks her head, and instead of trying to wrap Memaw up, she tries to tackle her or push her to the ground like a rhino. Well, you lower your head on Memaw, it's like giving her a handwritten invite to DDT you. So she tucks Mabel's head under her armpit. Mabel's looking behind Memaw out that way, and Memaw's looking regular front ways, and no hesitation, Memaw jumps as high as she can, which is about a 1/4 inch, and she leans back hard. Since Memaw met her on the other side of that DVD bin, that's exactly what's behind them now, which means Mabel Childress just got DDT'd into the DVD bargain bin in that wide aisle next to electronics in the back of the Wal-Marts. It got ugly quick, y'all guys. I mean, me and Cricket are on our way, but damage has been done. Mabel is all in them DVDs, some Blu-ray, some regular, and now we got a swift-footed, stubby-legged lady manager with frosted hair and little bangs shuffling over on a walkie-talkie. Mayday! Mayday! She calls into that walkie-talkie. Mayday? Pretty sure that ain't no official Wal-Mart's emergency term. And I know this looks bad, but I seen worse between Memaw and Mabel. The weirdest thing for me is that neither one of them has said a word. Memaw's back is on the edge of that DVD bin because she had to lean back on it, you know, so she's trying to get upright, and Mabel Childress is inside the DVD bin, all kind of DVDs, some Blu-ray, some regular. Well, I help Memaw up. Cricket helps Mabel out, and them girls, they just stare at each other. I mean, it's basically a glare. They're glaring at each other. You might remember Memaw had that yard sale recently to raise money for her trip, and she made $17 in profit. Well, her and Mabel had to split the cost of whatever got broke, and Wal-Marts was nice enough to tell them they didn't have to replace the bent DVD bin. Memaw can finish a fight pretty quick, so she always been a finisher ever since I known her, and that was the truth today too. So they got to keep the DVDs because they was paying for them, but there's a problem when they saw that Legends of the Fall was one of them DVDs, and I know that's Memaw's favorite movie. Maybe it's Mabel's too, or maybe Mabel knows Memaw likes it and wants to take it just out of spite. The DVD wasn't broke, just a case, but they had to buy it. And Mabel grabs it and stuffs it down her moo-moo. And Memaw grabs Mabel by the wrist and pulls Mabel to the floor. Then she tries to wrestle that DVD free. It's like round 2 over here. That little stubby-legged manager blows a whistle. She had a whistle on her, like Attaway. Walkie-talkie, whistle, I mean, this lady's ready to go. Memaw and Mabel just stare up at her like a possum in a trash can. Give it here, I say to Memaw with my hand out. She glares at me and she hands me that DVD. I said, we gonna donate this to somebody because you gals can't be civil. They stand up, they adjust themselves, make sure their moo-moos are in the right spot. That little frosted hair manager with the bangs scribbles on an incident report where she needs to get copies to Memaw and Mabel. I don't know if they suspended from Wal-Marts or what, but this was ridiculous, and I told them so too. I hope they got it out of their system. Cricket asked them if they are going to apologize. Mabel extended her right hand. Memaw shook it. That's as good as it got. Memaw's $17 got spent on busted DVDs, so she's back to the drawing board. We ended up leaving without buying anything, so I guess she kindly saved money. Is back to the drawing board with this baby doll display case too. Good news is I do have that prototype from Donnie Wayne Chambliss on that burger shed napkin, and he said he's willing to help. I'm going to have to take that help. So that's where we at, y'all guys. I appreciate you joining me today on the Tab and Dillard podcast. Share this thing, rate it, leave me a comment, check them show notes. As you recall, there's a lot going on right now, from the cruise to the bacon to the shirts, and also holler at me and let me know about the Q&A thing. Next season, do we just kind of do it all throughout the season instead of one big one? What do you think? And you'll see all this going on like that in the show notes, like I said in here. Well, I better get out of here today, y'all guys. I appreciate y'all being here. And hey, if you ain't a baby possum with a cough in a kennel named Baby Kevin, even though you're probably a teenager now, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tab and Dillard. This is the Tab and Dillard podcast. Till next time, y'all guys, we'll see you later.